Welcome back everyone to more career mode gameplay of NASCAR Heat 5. And in today's video, one of two things is about to happen. Possibility number one is that we're going to simulate the Charlotte Roval have a terrible finish while our competitors have a great finish and we do not make it into the round of 8, the next round of the playoffs. Should that happen, then this will be a very short video indeed, and it will end our season, and we'll look forward to next season continuing to make improvements on our car and continuing to race for an ultimate championship. However, the much more likely scenario is a second scenario, and to take a look at that, let's hop over to the season standings tab, where you can see that we are in 4th position right now. Remember, the top 8 are going to move on to the next round. Okay, so we're sitting in 4th. We're at a plus 53. Now, that gives us an incredibly large cushion headed into that next race, especially when considering that the two guys right below us, Hamlin and Keselowski, also have very large cushions. Poor Kevin Harvick and Ryan Newman do not, however. So, with that in mind, I'm feeling very comfortable that scenario number 2 is much more likely. So we're going to plan as if that were the case, and we'll go from there should anything else happen. But again, I'm hoping that this is not an incredibly short video and an end to our season. So let's hop over to the work plan. Now, I've already done the work here. Very simple. We have 2 speedways coming up after the Charlotte Roval, Kansas and then Texas. So pretty simple to figure out which one we're going to work on here. However, I can tell you, things are going to get a little bit interesting. I'm not going to go into great detail about it, but they're going to get interesting because of the way the game handles these chassis. Again, not going to go into detail because I'm not going to hop on that soapbox again. I promised you guys that I was going to try really hard not to really think about this and talk about this any more than necessary. So far, so good. I'm holding back on that. So now we need to select our car. What car are we going to use? What chassis are we going to use for the Charlotte Roval? Well, I am going to use chassis number 1, which is not the stronger of the 2 chassis. The reason is I want to keep chassis number 2 ready to go for the next speedway race at Kansas. That is what I want to keep it for. And we have seen that it really doesn't seem to matter which chassis we use in the simulated results. At least not at this point when they're not fully upgraded. Maybe if they're fully upgraded, it makes a little bit of a difference, but right now, I just haven't seen any reason to think it does. So I'm going to use chassis number 1, and we're going to go with it. So chassis number 1, there we go. Let's go ahead and simulate this race, and let's see what we get. I'm hoping we get that flash screen that pops up and says, you have advanced, and there it is. Right on cue. I like it. You've advanced to the round of 8. And we will take it. So what do we get? Oh, 30th. That feels like a top 10 for simulated results. Now, we didn't make a whole lot of money, $757,000. However, now, can we all just agree on what this is going to be? Yep, sloppy driving. So take it all the way back. And once again, I'm not going to talk about what is happening with that chassis. Not going to do it. Instead, we're going to focus on the fact that we have moved into the round of 8 with a brand new Cup team that we have moved forward through the entire year. We've worked to upgrade piece after piece of this car, and here we are in the round of 8. So I am extremely happy that we've been able to make it this far. So if we hop over to the standings now, we are in 6th position. We're at a minus 19 because remember, now what we're fighting for is not to make it into the next round of the playoffs. We're fighting for an opportunity to race for the championship at Phoenix. And only 4 drivers are going to get to do that. And if we're going to do it on points, we're going to have to make up a lot of points because we're at minus 19. Now, we're not in the worst position of the 8 drivers, but we are certainly not in a good position. The good thing is we know exactly how to get the most points, and that is take advantage of the stage 1 and stage 2 for the most stage points, and then of course stage 3 get the best finish. And hey, if we can really work this out, then a victory solves all the problems. So that's what we're going to be thinking of today. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and auto assign these guys. All right, so we need to really get to work on Speedway chassis number 1. However, it just isn't going to work out in our favor. We already know this, but we're going to deal with it as best we can, because once again, I have promised myself, and I've told you guys, I'm going to try my best not to get on that soapbox again with how this career mode works with these chassis. I'm going to try my absolute best not to do that. But if you'll take a look in the top right-hand corner, we are at 3.9 million, and we know that once we make it to 4 million, we can upgrade that arrow from 90 to 95. So that's what we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on the positives as much as we possibly can. Now, there's another part to this that I have really thought about doing, and that is upgrading our employees. So you notice that in this case, Cora happens to be on the screen right now. She's at a plus 11 on the engine. Now, we could upgrade her to a plus 12. Now, the game doesn't allow you to go to plus 15 like it has in past iterations of the game. And that's because they really want this driving bonus at the end of each race to become an integral part of the entire process. So you can only go plus 12, not 15. So we're just going to have to deal with that as very best we can. So we have chassis number 2, which is maxed out right now. Unfortunately, that is all. So we're going to have to start the work here. And yeah, this is just bugging me to death right now. It is all I can do not to talk about how ridiculous this is. But I am fighting it back as best I can. Let's go ahead and select the car. And okay, so we obviously want car number 2. So given the reality of where we are for the next race with car number 1, we need to have the absolute best race we can using our fully upgraded, or at least for us, fully upgraded chassis number 2. It's full strength for us. At Kansas, we need the best finish we can get and make up as many points as humanly possible. Let's get to it. All right, folks, it is race time here at Kansas, and we'll be starting in the 8th position, just inside the top 10. So our goal, as always, maximize points. Get the best finish here in stage 1 and stage 2 that we possibly can. Then we got to make our decision. Do we pit at the end of stage 2? If we decide to pit at the end of stage 2, will we have enough time to make it back up through the field and get the best finish possible? So a lot of decisions to make, but it all starts with having great runs in the first and second stages. This is where we find out what kind of speed do we have and can we maintain it.
Bottom's clear.
Oh, look out. 17 is up here in the top groove, but he is not doing well. Okay, so we got people going everywhere, which is an awesome thing when the AI go every which direction, but right now we're in the middle of it. Ooh, we need to get through this. Coming off turn 2, can we make it happen? Our pole sitter, Ryan Blaney, did not have a good start to the race because he is on our outside right now. Ooh, a little loose there on corner entry. Okay, so we got clear. We are sitting here in 3rd position. Of course, if we get loose too much, that's going to really hurt the right rear tire. It really works doubly against you in this game with the way the tires fall off. Okay, so 3rd position. Let's see if we can maintain this. Let's see if we can maintain this speed and come home, because 3rd position, of course, would be a great finish here in stage 1. And if we can do that, we put ourselves in a great position to start stage 2 and keep that ball rolling. All right, so right now I'm kind of trying to feel the car out a little bit. As always, I don't run practice and qualifying. Today I did run qualifying, but I don't run practice unless I need to feel something out, like what gear to run, something like that, because at a lot of these tracks we haven't been to since we did upgrades to our engine, so that would be really the only thing I generally try to do. All right, so right now running in 4th. We'll see if that sticks. But right now, not too bad. I do see a car coming up behind us with just a few laps remaining. Let's move down the track a little bit. I did see the temperature gauge come on there. That's another thing that I should probably pay more attention to. Now, the temperature gauge, unfortunately, all it does is get you overheated, so in real life it would do more than that with the grill tape, but in the game, not so much. At least not to this point. Alright, so I really want back in that top 3, but at the same time, I know I've got the 9 car who is really nipping at our heels to get by us and push us back to 5th.
Careful, still there.
So we're in a interesting position right now.
Inside.
Ooh, yikes. Easy now. Alright, are we going to be 3 wide going into this next corner? No, not quite. The 11 car got a burst of speed from somewhere. Alright, so we're going to eat him up on corner, in the middle of the corner, and on corner exit.
Still there.
Oh, good move on your part, Denny Hamlin. I was going straight to the top to try to get position on him and get a run on him, but that did not happen.
Still there. 1 more to go.
So instead, he ended up getting position on me.
Careful, still there.
All right, again, the beauty of the AI moving around the track. You never know exactly where they're going, and now he has decided he is taking my line. That's a good move on his part.
Hold your line, stay high.
Ooh, but he left me enough room to get up here. And will we have enough time? Not
That'll earn
quite.
you a few stage
Okay, so
points.
5th here in stage 1, and that's not too bad. 6 points here in stage 1. I'm going to consider that to be a nice victory. Of course, we're not ready to pit yet. Now, of course, one strategy we could try is pitting after stage 1, staying out after stage 2, and doing that up and mixing it up a little
Be
bit.
ready here.
Always something to keep in mind.
10 laps to go. Careful, still there.
All right, here we go.
Still there.
Let's see what we can get here on this first lap or 2 of stage 2. So remember, the goal here
Still there.
is, of course, get as many points as we can,
Got it,
but
you're clear there.
perhaps even more important than that, are we clear, by the way? I don't think we are.
Hold your line, got 1 inside. All right, you're clear there.
I'm clear? Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. I did not think it was actually possible, though. But the other thing we want to figure out here, as well as getting maximum points for ourselves, we want to figure out, do we want to pit at the end of this stage?
You got room, you're clear.
Because obviously, if we pit, we'll have to start from the very back.
Still there.
These guys are just blowing by me on the straightaway. Wow.
Still there.
And I feel like we're doing pretty good. Now, I know we're still down on drag. I know that, but
Still there.
all right, there we go. So we are able to fight back. So these guys are just simply faster. That's what we're going to chalk it up to. They're just simply better than us. Because the car's handling pretty good. It's never perfect. Because every time you make a change to help one thing, you have to keep in mind that it's also going to affect other things. So everything is a compromise. Once you reach a certain level, anyway.
Got 1 down low now. Low's clear.
All right, so it looks
Got one
like,
peeking inside.
yeah, we're moving backwards a little bit. I might be able to take care of some of that by moving down the track a little bit, maybe using the middle of the track, especially here in turn 1 and 2. 3 and 4 is almost exclusively the top for me, but we're going to have to try something else here. Yeah, I just can't get any momentum down here.
Stay on the bottom. 5 to go, driver.
All right, let's try the middle down here. There's some good grip there. But then here in 3 and 4, the high side is just seems to be where it's at for me down here. Everything else feels like there's about 5 degrees less banking in the corner. In other words, the car is just not set up to go down there. In my driving style, I'm so used to driving the car on the high side of the track that I would need to make some serious adjustments in order to drive that bottom on a regular basis. All right, but right now we are in 7th position. Again, not terrible. You can see we've got some cars coming, one of them being Kevin Harvick. So right now we ended up really good in stage 1. Here in stage 2, not quite as good. We've got some guys that are coming for us here in stage 2. And this is making me think that pitting will be the way to go. Especially if we can get up into this upper groove as we're coming through the field. Because we'll pass a lot of cars very quickly if we can do that.
2 to go, driver.
But as always, it depends on where everybody goes.
Inside. Still there.
All right, that was a pretty good set of corners. But you can see even with that, the 4 car is going to make short work of me here in 3 and 4. So yeah, this is making it look like pitting is the way to go.
One more to go.
All right, let's see where he goes. All right, so he went back to the bottom, giving me plenty of room here on the top. See what he does
Still
here.
there.
All right, so he, once again, back to the bottom. All right, so we got a nice run on him, but unfortunately, we're not going to have time to do anything with him. So 8th position here in stage 2, so we fell back some. Still pick up 3 points. So I'm going to consider that a success, but now we will be pitting, and the fun will ensue. Let's see, what do we want to do? Actually, nothing. I mean, car's pretty much fine. So we're going to start dead last again. This is so much fun when we do this.
Almost ready now. Hold your line, got one inside.
So this is going to be all about where we've got room. We obviously know that we're faster than these guys back here. Of course, you can see, look at them get up to speed quicker than me. Yikes, that does not make me feel good. But as soon as we get to the corners,
Careful, still there.
this happens. Okay, now I have to come completely out of the gas.
Stay high up there.
Oh, 000, you did do that to me, didn't you?
Hold your line there. You're all clear up top there.
Oh, I just did not need him to go all the way to the top, and that's exactly where he went. I need these guys to use the bottom couple of grooves, if at all possible, and give me room to make my way through these guys. And, of course, now the 21.
You got room. You're clear. Inside.
Oh, that was so fun.
Clear low, bud.
Not what I wanted to happen, but again, just sort of deal with what you
All right,
got.
you're clear.
We'll just try to drive it through these guys as best we can.
Clear down
But yeah,
low.
this is not what we wanted. I wanted the top
Keep it
groove.
nice and smooth for us. All right, you're clear.
and we are not getting it. You can see these guys up here are using that top groove. So I'm having to use something else, which is not the best idea. For my car 48, I need you to go. Okay, he finally went to the bottom.
Clear low there.
But this is, again, this makes it so much fun. As frustrating as this is, because we're not getting any of the room we wanted on the track, it is so amazingly fun that these guys are moving around the track so much and that I'm having to figure out where they're going to go.
Stay low.
Sometimes you have to make a guess, and sometimes you guess wrong.
All clear.
All right, we're up to 17th. Basically running this middle groove here.
Still there.
All right, how many laps do we have left? What does it say? 8 laps. All right, big run on the 20 car, so I'm going to have to abandon the high side yet again, looks like. All right, where are you going, 20 car? All right, he's staying high.
Still there. All clear.
So this certainly isn't a race winning move, because you can see we're having to really use our stuff up
Careful. Still
coming
there.
through the field. But, I mean, can we just, for a moment, enjoy how much fun this is? We're definitely going to win the award for passing the most cars. Of course, as we get farther and farther forward, these guys are getting more and more spread out. And the more spread out they get, the harder it is to pass them. It was much easier back at the back of the field when we could pass them 2, 3, 4 at a time.
Careful. Still there. All right, you're clear.
Don't do it.
Still there. 5 to go. You got this.
Telling the 8 car to stay down on the track and not come up on the track is, yeah, that's just not healthy.
Stay high up there.
All right, so we're in 13th, well, now 12th.
All clear.
All right, 2 car. All right, he was pinned on the bottom. Can't really keep any momentum up.
All right, you're clear.
Pressed my luck a little too much there on entry. You can see it really didn't hurt a whole lot, though. And that's why you can do things like that. Because it really doesn't hurt you a whole lot. In some cases, it doesn't hurt you at all.
All right, you're clear.
All right, we got to get back in the top 10, at least. Oh, there's our pal, Denny Hamlin. We've seen him today.
Careful. Still there. All right, you're clear.
Where's he going? Oh, he's going right to the top.
Inside, inside. Clear low there.
Oh, we need the momentum to get by him. Really need to get by him here.
Stay low.
Because we're running out of laps.
All right, you're clear there.
All right, that's probably the best I've gotten through 3 and 4 in the middle groove in this race.
I need 2 more solid laps, bud.
All right, 2 more laps. Do we have time to catch any of these guys in front of us? I don't know the answer to that question. I'm kind of thinking we don't. That's, even if we're faster than them, that is a lot of distance to make up. But we made it back inside the top 10, so not quite back to where we were. And what were we, 7th, 8th, somewhere along in there.
White flag is in the air.
So we didn't quite make it back to there, but yeah, the fun overrides that. That is until we get to the end of this round of the playoffs and find out that we missed, you know, by a point or 2. And that's all we missed. making it into the Final Four bout. That wouldn't be so nice, but
That's a great run, driver.
all right, 9th position. We'll take it. Again, a couple of positions off of maybe where we could have been, possibly, had we not pitted, but I'm here for it. That was, as always, so much fun to do, and we had to do it not in the groove we wanted to run. These guys were all over the place as we were trying to come through. Now, the most important thing at this point isn't the money, but let's see how much a top 10 paid us there. Okay, just a bit over $1 million. We'll certainly take that. And then the points. Oof. Ouch. So minus 17. We didn't gain anything in today's race, and that is what it's like in the playoffs. Each round gets successively harder. And of course, only 4 drivers are going to make it to Phoenix in order to drive for a championship, and top 10 is no longer going to cut it. Even though we had some good finishes in both the first and second stage as well as the race overall, that ain't going to cut it if we want to make it to the finale at Phoenix. I wanted to say Homestead still. My brain still wants to say Homestead. But, wow, minus 17. We did not gain anything. So that tells us exactly what we're up against as we go forward for the remainder of the playoffs. So that's going to do it for today. When we come back next time, we got some work to do here in NASCAR Heat 5.